Kakadosh Boker Tov. We're continuing with the halachot now of Taanit on Shabbat. In Siman Resh Pechet, he now speaks about Taanit Chalom. Now just to understand what exactly is a Taanit Chalom, the Gemara Masechet Shabbat and also Taanit says, Yafet Taanit la Chalom kesh linodet, which means that when a person comes and he's going to have a bad dream, so he sees something bad, whether it's decrees or anything, the Taanit in itself can annul this decree, that just like fire comes and burns the straw and it destroys it completely, so too the Taanit could destroy it completely. There's an entire siman in Shulchan Aruch, siman Resh Kaf, that speaks about Taanit to do with Chalomot or Atavat Chalom. And now it says that even though the rabbis come and say, there's a Gemara that says, Divrei Chalomot lo ma'alim v'lo moridim, which means that we don't pay attention to what happens to with regards to the dreams, right? Shmuel says that when he used to see a bad dream, Chalomot shavi daberu, which means that they're speaking falsehood. Nevertheless, many times it could happen that they are showing us certain things in order for us to do teshuvah, in order to awaken us, and therefore we could come and we could annul these bad and negative decrees. Nevertheless, he says, it does not help the Taanit unless we do teshuvah, which means it's not just enough that we come and we fast. Fasting is not enough. The fasting has to be hand in hand with teshuvah, with repentance, and then it will help. And it's also fitting that we should learn Torah with all our mights, with all our strengths, on the day that we're going to be doing Taanit, and we should have also tefillah with kavanah. Now, the halacha of now a Taanit, which is going to come and help to annul the bad decrees, that is only going to be in the same day that we had the dream. Now, even though there's a general rule that whenever we want to fast, we always have to accept upon ourselves the fast, the mincha before, other than obviously a Taanit Sibur, that it's forced upon us, that we don't need to do that because anyway everybody has to fast and we don't have a choice. However, though, any type of a Taanit that we wanted to take upon ourselves, we have to do Kabbalat Taanit and the mincha before. We have to accept the Taanit and mincha before the fast. Here, we do not need to accept upon ourselves the Taanit whatsoever, and therefore the morning that a person woke up and they just had the Chalom Ra, the bad dream the night before, that same day they must do the fast, because it does not help if they're going to do the fast on a different day. So now, according to the Rishonim, it comes out as follows then, right? There's three different opinions in the Rishonim. Some people want to say that Taanit Chalom is not a Chova min adin, and therefore if you don't want to do it, right, you don't need to do it. And therefore on Shabbat it was a heter that they permitted you to do it if you wanted to do it. But it's not a Chova, even during the weekday, there's nothing. Other Rishonim come and they say that Taanit Chova is a min adin. Right? Taanit Chalom is going to be minadin, which means you're obligated to do a Taanit on the day that we have a bad dream, whether it comes out on Shabbat or whether it comes out on Chol. So that's why you're obligated to do it on Shabbat, but it's always a Chuvah. You must do this Taanit. Other Rishonim, they come and they say, no, during the weekday it's a Chuvah, on Shabbat it's not going to be a Chuvah. So we actually have three different opinions. What is this Taanit Chalom? Whether it's going to be always a Chuvah, whether it's never a Chuvah, or on the weekday it's a Chovah, and Shabbat it's not going to be a Chovah. Therefore, whichever way that we look at it, according to all opinions though, we were permitted to do Taanit on Shabbat for Taanit Chalom, which means if a person had a bad dream on Friday night, and therefore since he says it has to be the same day that you're fasting, because it does not help now to fast for Sunday if you had the dream on Friday night, that's what we just explained. So therefore there was a permission for us to come and to do a Taanit on Shabbat. Now, even though everybody is obligated in Oneg Shabbat, right, and that's even a mitzvah to say doraita according to some Rishonim, right, and also fasting on Shabbat could be an Isur min Torah. Nevertheless, they permitted it, and they said it's just the concept that since the person will be very, very sad if now he cannot annul this dream, so therefore they gave him a special permission that he's able to come and to be mitztaed on Shabbat in order that he should have this menuchat nefesh, and therefore for him the fasting is considered an oneg. The fasting in itself is considered that he's enjoying himself in order that he could come and he could annul the dream. And that's why there's a heter to come and to do Taanit Chalom on the Shabbat. Now, the thing is that some people, they permit that not only you're allowed to do Taanit Chalom, you're allowed to do Taanit Chalom and even to cry and to be mitvadeh even, betot tfilato, but still he says somebody that's not going to do Taanit Chalom, obviously they're not allowed to come and to start confessing on the Shabbat. So therefore, again, this is what Shulchan Aruch brings down here in Siman Resh Pechet, because this Siman is talking about fasting on Shabbat. So in the middle in Sif Daled, Maran just says, Mutali tanobo ta'anit chalom kadei shikra gzar dino. Persons permitted to come and to do a ta'anit on Shabbat for ta'anit chalom in order to destroy the bad decrees. And he has to be nitanot b'yom rishon kedei shitkapel lo ma shebitel oneg Shabbat. So now he has to fast actually 2 days. It's coming out that he's fasting on Shabbat because of Ta'anit Chalom, then he's eating on Motzei Shabbat, and then on Sunday he has to fast again because he actually he annulled the Oneg Shabbat on Shabbat. However, though he comes and he says if he's weak and he cannot do 2 days in a row, don't do it on Sunday, but rather he's going to be Yitaneh Achar Kach, he's going to do it another day. And then we'll continue obviously with what about on Yom Tovs and other Moadim as well.